Welcome to Collecting Chaos. My name is James, and this is Coffee with Chaos. I've been having trouble with my computer. It's overheating because of a broken bracket, and also the power supply fan works sometimes, not all the time, just sometimes. I've kind of jerry-rigged it. Hopefully it'll last because the parts didn't come in today like they were supposed to. I was assured they would be here today, and of course they didn't show up. Maybe they'll be here tomorrow. I don't know. If you don't see a video from me on Friday, you'll know that they didn't show up. I tested it earlier. It ran for a few hours. Hopefully it'll be good enough to run for the show. We'll find out. So, yeah, that's what's going on with me. And that's why I haven't been posting any videos after Monday morning. And the end of Monday morning was so messed up because it was overheating and it wasn't working properly. So, yeah. Fun times in the old computer business. I don't understand what's wrong with this computer. I only built it like 15, 16 years ago. Should be fine. Or was it 18 or 20 years ago? I don't remember. I just know that it works great when it works. It's got 8 cores, pretty powerful, 32 gigabytes of RAM, or is it 16? Maybe it's the other computer that has 32 and this one has 16. I don't remember. It doesn't really matter. It works great when it works. And the problem, like I said, is the intermittent fan on the power supply. And then the fan for the CPU, the brackets for that have cracked and broken. So that's why it's, and those were the parts, along with, that didn't come in. So I glued the cracked ones together, put some epoxy on it. Hopefully it'll last. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll go ahead and get started. And what I'm going to start with today is the magazines that I pressed this past week. And the reason I'm starting with the magazines instead of the comic books is because the last comic that I'm going to show is a Thor comic that I showed last week. It had a minor spine problem. Just a minor little one. Who am I kidding? I didn't think I could fix it. Bottom line. I was going to try. I didn't think I could. Speaking of things I don't think I can fix, I picked up a New Mutants 87 from the store that I go to. He just handed it to me and see what you can do with it. It had a really big stain on it. And you'll see it in Friday's Superman video if I'm able to complete that one. But I show the stain. And I'm going to go ahead and work on it and see what I can do, just as a challenge, because I've never worked on a well, that's Copper Age, really. I was going to say a modern age comic. There's really no difference between Copper Age and modern age from pre-2000. So I figured it might be an interesting thing to work on. Well, I'm doing it. I'm going to do it for free. Probably shouldn't, because I'm going to have to wash every single page, because every page has stains on it. And it looks like either coffee or chocolate milk that's spilled on it. So we'll see what I can do with it, and hopefully it'll come out okay. Let's get started on those magazines. If I could figure out what I'm doing here. That's not what I want. This is what I want. And switch over to the other camera. Here we go. And we're going to start out with Bizarre Adventures number 25. I absolutely love this cover. It's by Paul Gulacy. Unfortunately, it has a little chip down here in the corner. What can you do? Next up, we have another Paul Gulacy cover. Oh, look at that. It's Bizarre Adventures 25. I don't need two of them. I tell you what. I'm going to take this one and I'm going to put it over there in the box that will go to my 1,000 subscriber contest should I ever hit 1,000 subscribers. Next up, this is a John Bolton cover, Bizarre Adventures number 26. Gorgeous John Bolton cover. Cole the Barbarian. What do we got next? We got Bizarre Adventures 27. Another Paul Gulacy cover. Another Bizarre Adventures. Like I said, 27. With Phoenix and Iceman and the Nightcrawler. See, I do know the names of some of the X-Men. Next up, Bob Larkin did this cover for Bizarre Adventures 28. There's Bizarre Adventures 29. Walt Simonson did the cover of this, A Lawnmower Man. Nice Walt Simonson cover. What's next? Jeff Easley. He did a lot of work for Dungeons and Dragons, but this is a Jeff Easley cover on Bizarre Adventures number 30. And those are the magazines that I pressed this week. Set them down off to the side. And let's go to the comic books. Richie Rick's Success Stories, number 38. Don't know who did the cover. I probably should repress it. It doesn't look like it came out the way I wanted it to. So I probably won't. I've got too many comics to worry about. Hawkman number 2, Murphy Anderson, of course. He-Man number 14, Joe Staton. Cerebus 81, Sacred Wars. Dave Samuel, of course. That one didn't turn out quite the way I wanted it either. Maybe I should revisit some of these. Nah, I got too many to do. Classics Illustrated, number 72-167 from 1964, The Oregon Trail. Amazing cover. I don't know who did it. Next up, Destroyer Duck, number 2, Jack Kirby, of course. Twisted Tales, number 5. I'm missing a few of these. I have a story about that I'll tell. It's on some future date. This is a Richard Corbin cover. Billy the Kid, number 104. Now, this one has a really bad stain on it. I'm not going to try to fix it. That's a Joe Delbo cover. Uh, you can see the stain. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I humidified it for about 4 or 5 hours and then pressed it. And the comic is nice and supple now, but it still has that nasty stain that I'm not going to bother getting out. Charlton comics are notoriously hard to work on, and I just don't want to mess with it. We have Archie's TV Laugh Out, number 75. Is that a DeCarlo cover? I don't know. It kind of looks like Dan DeCarlo, but he didn't sign it. So we have Condor Man, number 2. That turned out pretty nice. Like that. And Tarzan, number 50. Every now and then I press a random Tarzan because I have a lot of them. Set these off to the side. What's next? Tomb of Dracula, number 41, Gene Colan cover. Richie Rich Success Stories, number 39. This one, yeah. If you're got a little bit of a rounded corner there. If you are judging cover or corners on a scale of 1 to 10, this would definitely be a 0. We got Hawkman, number 3, The Birds in the Gilded Cage. Yeah, I'm pressing all my Hawkman comics. And then I'll complete the run. Maybe. He-Man 15. And this, of course, is Murphy Anderson. And this, of course, is Joe Staton. Got another Cerebus 81, Sacred Wars. I guess I had 2 of those. I have so many Cerebus comics, it isn't funny. Classics Illustrated, number 58. 78. This is from 1950. Rudy Pillais. Plais, but I think it's pronounced Pillais. Beautiful cover. You know, some of these early Classics Illustrated covers, I'll put the artwork up on them up against any of the superhero genre that's out there. I know that's sacrilege, but that's just the way I think. Dragonflight, number 1. Is that a Layla Dowling cover? No, that isn't. That is a Mark Ferrari cover. Beautiful. Gorgeous cover. Next up, Twisted Tales, number 6. I think this is John Bolton. Yep, John Bolton cover. Very nice cover. Very morbid cover. I like my Twisted Tales. Billy the Kid, number 110. This is a Warren Statler or Warren Sattler cover. Another underrated artist, in my opinion. Another Archie's TV Laugh Out. Number 105. This is a Stan Goldberg cover. You can tell because the signature's right there. got Condor Man #3. I've got them all. The whole set. 1, 2, and 3. I watched the movie, unfortunately, so I don't think I need to read the book. From 1949, Gene Autry Comics, #34. Really, really nice copy of it. It's not perfect. It's got some crinkles, but it presents really nicely. Uh, I found this one and decided to press it. It's out of order. The rest of them. It's a Brian Stelfreeze cover, Nightwing #1. This is the first solo series, the second Nightwing comic. The first Nightwing comic was Alfred's Return or something like that. But this is his first solo comic. And I have a couple of copies of that. I think I have 2 copies of #1, and then I have 2, 3, and 4. Tomb of Dracula, #42. Another Gene Colan cover. Great stuff. There's Richie Rick's Success Stories, #78. No idea who did the cover. Probably Warren Kramer, but I don't know. Hawkman #4, Murphy Anderson. Of course, somebody scribbled in the... Yeah. But it's good enough for me for now. It's kind of an expensive comic, so I don't think I'm going to buy another one. E-Man #19, Joe Staton. The Hoodoo Blues. I like this cover too. It's kind of weird. Cerebus '82. Of course, that's Dave Sim in the artwork on that. And this looks like Swamp Thing, and that looks like Man Thing. From 1949, we have Classics Illustrated #59, Wuthering Heights. This is a first print with artwork by Henry Kiefer. Kiefer is an amazing artist. How do people not collect his work? Well, a few of us do. Next up, Dragonflight #2. Another Mark. Yeah, Mark Ferrari. And I'm just showing the cover, but the interior art by Layla Dowling is amazing. Really spectacular stuff. We have Twisted Tales #7, another John Bolton cover. Billy the Kid #111. Warren Sattler artwork. Like I said, I think he's underrated. And Archie's Vacation Special #2 or #3, Dan DiCarlo. Now I do have one more to show you. It's a Ron Friends cover. It was in pretty bad shape. And here it is. The Mighty Thor, number 459, with the spine straightened out. And just to show you, we'll take it out of the Mylar. Maybe. No more spine crunch. And that was a spine crunch and not a spine roll. It was definitely a spine crunch. And the reason I took it out was to show you, here's the stain that I pointed out before, that I said I wasn't going to bother taking out. All I did was straighten out the spine. I think it came out pretty good. Not bad at all. So how did I do that? So how did I straighten that spine out? And quick, too. The first thing I did was I put it in my humidity chamber, and I let it sit there for about 30 hours. Then I put it in my cold press for about 8 hours. I'm going to say about 8 hours. Took it out of the cold press. I formed the spine. I did a steam and a heat press to it, and that's how it turned out. Pretty easy stuff all in all. And I'm really happy with the way it turned out. It's not worth anything. Not really. And the amount of time I spent on it is probably way more than the comic is worth. So what's next? I guess next thing we'll do is go through the comics I picked up at the comic store today, the new comic stuff. But before I get to that, I'm going to show you some old comics. And what these are is these are comics that when I walked in, he said, "Hey, I've got something for you." And he pulled them out and he handed them to me and said, "You can have these." I went, "Okay." So I paid him exactly what he was asking for, which was nothing. Let's see what I got. I got a copy of Adventure Comics number 380 from the Silver Age. I have multiple copies of this, so that's not that big a deal. 1969, the end of the Silver Age. The interior is really nice. And I think, okay, it's got a little problem there. It's a lower mid-grade copy. Clean it up a little bit, it'll be all right. Too bad I already have like 3 or 4 copies of it, but that's okay. The price was right. I have a copy of Adventure Comics number 465. Again, low grade, but I don't think I have this one. So that's nice. It'll get pressed eventually. World's Finest number 207. Yeah, we'll take that. Featuring Tarantula, the original web slinger. And of course, this was before DC was putting credits or artist credits on the comic. World's Finest number 244. Not in too bad a shape. Slight spine roll, nothing I can't correct. World's Finest 258. Again, a slight spine roll. This one has I never realized this one had a wraparound cover. That's cool. Just Air Browsing and Salesboy Comics. Glad to see you both. Yeah, free comics are always good comics. And World's Finest number 252. So, yeah, glad to get those. I don't think I have any of these. Except that one. I know I have copies of that one. So, new comics. What do I get? Absolute Green Arrow. I really liked this cover. And here's the interior cover, the other cover. That's number 3, and I picked up this one too because I liked this cover as well. Next up, Absolute Flash. I didn't much like any of the covers, so I picked this one up because it was the cover that I just liked the least. I'm not a huge fan of the Absolute Flash comics. They're okay. Maybe I just don't have all of them, or I haven't read enough of them. Maybe if I had started with number 1, I'd be more into it. It's okay, but you know. Batman Superman World's Finest number 53. That's the cover. And there's the regular cover, the alpha cover. Next up, I liked this cover a lot. Batwoman number 5. Like I said, I like that cover a lot. And there's the regular cover. But, you know, I like this cover a lot, too. And this cover was pretty awesome as well. So I just got all 3 of them. He pulls all the covers for me. I don't always buy all of the covers, except the A cover. He doesn't pull that unless he runs out of the variants. Dark Knights of Steel, number 2, or part 2. Gorgeous cover there. And I went ahead and picked this one up too, just because why not? Maybe someday I'll have somebody draw on it. I don't know. Are those different covers? I don't think so. Yeah, they're the same. And yeah, I absolutely had to get this one because it's just gorgeous. Yeah, it's a metal cover, but, you know. Deathstroke, the Terminator, number 5. Again, this is the cover that I just liked the least. I didn't much care for the other ones. But this one was okay just because it's just Deathstroke. They had another one with him and his daughter, and I just decided not to get it. So, there we go. End of Life, number 6. Really like this series. I think everybody should be reading it. I think it's way underrated. Let's set those off to the side. We've got Lobo, number 5. Kind of like that cover. Pretty good. I mean, there's Lobo, a dolphin, and dog. What more do you need, right? But this one was nice too. And I'm getting all of the swimsuit covers, so let me go ahead and show you that's the A cover. Definitely worth getting. This has been a good series so far. The cats are brawling outside. New Titans, number 37. That was the only alternate cover I had. He had. There you go. That's the regular cover. A Nightwing. This is a swimsuit cover. But the Nightwing story has been really, really good. I'm really enjoying that. I may have to try to get the other 139 of them. Catwoman 89. This cover was I like it. It's not my favorite, but I like it. There's an A cover, and that's an awesome cover right there. This cover was kind of cool. I liked that one a lot. I like this one too. This one is just classic. I don't know if you can tell or not. Yeah, this is just an awesome cover. And of course, the swimsuit cover, I had to get that. Then we got a Superman Unlimited. Now this was just the regular cover because he didn't have enough of the variant covers to go around. And since I'm a later addition to his pull boxes, I get pulled last. I don't have a problem with that. You know, would I have liked to have the A cut or the variant cover? Absolutely, but I didn't get it, so yeah. Stuff happens. Wonder Woman number 36 came out. Gorgeous cover, isn't it? Even this one is a beautiful cover. But this one is pretty awesome too. So I had to get that. And of course, this Wonder Woman swimsuit cover, like I'm not going to get that. So that's the new comics that I picked up this week. What do we got? Yeah, Catwoman is always cool. Getting Tiger number 3 or something. I don't know who is the artist. CDP 9.9. Jessica Rabbit. Nice. Yeah, absolutely. But you know what? I've got more comics. And it's not, I could have waited and tried to do these on a What the Bleep, but I decided not to. Actually, I tried to, but it wouldn't record. Where are they? Okay, one of them is in my humidity chamber uh, because I'm going to correct a spine roll in it, and then I'm going to send it off to Boston. Wallace. It's a Classics Illustrated number 3, sixth print cover that he's been dying to get his hands on. I managed to snag one. Well, not too bad a price. Ended up having a torn page. The last page was torn, so the seller made it. I told him, look, I don't want you to spend money having me send it back. That's going to cost you like $8 or $9, and that's not worth it because that's all the comic is worth, about $10 to $15 on a good day. Actually, I think I told him $8 to $12, and I originally paid $25 for it. He sent me $15, so I can't complain about that. I can't remember what seller it was, uh, but when I remember which one it was, actually, I'll check eBay later tonight, and I'll post it. I'll add it to the description of this. That he's a great seller, and if you have the opportunity to do business with him, then maybe you should consider it. He also sent it ground ground mail. He didn't send it media mail, which is always a big plus in my book. So, what else was there? There was another comic too, and I can't remember what it was. I don't remember what I did with it. It was a good one. Maybe I already put it in my stack of comics to be pressed. I don't know. I don't remember. But I do have some other comics. I got a box here. Got a box of comics here. And I haven't bought these yet. This is the one case where I'm actually going to show them before I buy them. Because I always look through them to decide what I want to pay if people don't have a price in mind. So I'm going to look through them. I'm going to decide what I'm going to pay them. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to pay them. I'm going to look through them, decide what I'm going to pay for them, but we're going to look at them together. And he's got some other stuff, some posters and some other weird stuff in there. I'm not worried about it. So let's take a look and see what's in this box. And I can start making a mental note of what I want to pay for. I think it's mostly DC, so I'm probably going to buy them. And we'll start with this bigger stuff. 10 Years to Death. I have no idea what it's about. It's a one-shot. Marvel Super Special number 12. I think I have a copy of that. The Doctor Doom mask. A couple of Middle West Brother Root flyers from Image. The Umbrella Academy Hotel Oblivion poster. What's this one? This one's too big to show all of it. So we'll just figure out what it is and then I'll put it back. It's a Buffy poster. Oh well. And here's another poster. A Jupiter's Legacy poster. I have most of the Jupiter's Legacy stuff. Never read any of it because I don't have the first issue. And that looks like the posters I got. Nope, there's more. What's this? Oh, Mouse Guard, Midnight Dawn. Mouse Guard is kind of cool. I'm not a big fan of the size, but they're cool to read. What's this? It says Uncanny X-Force 2010. I'm not going to try to open it all the way. I have a feeling this one might be Avengers #1 poster. I don't know where I get that idea, but that's what I'm thinking. What's this one? Got another one here. Another Marvel poster. Looks like more Avengers stuff. War of the Realms. And one more. This should be the last poster. Says Marvel Rising. Yeah. I might throw all of those into the box for the 1,000 comic giveaway, or the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. Should I ever hit 1,000 subscribers? Oh wait, more posters. There you go, trading cards. Pamela Anderson is Barbed Wire, official trading cards. Coming soon. Yeah, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Okay, this is kind of cool. It's an old Wizard poster. There you go. And that, I think, is really all the posters. Okay. I had those, and I had had the comic book. I didn't press it or nothing. I went and got a graded comeback CDC 9.4. CGC 9.4. Can someone paid me $150 for it? Pam Anderson, Barbed Wire. Yeah, I've still got a copy of that somewhere, and I also have the magazine somewhere. I don't know where. I'll find them eventually. All right, let's see some of these comics that. Valley of the Dinosaurs, #5. I don't think I have that one. I'm slowly getting all of these. Got some stains, so it goes real well with the rest of my Valley of the Dinosaurs that are all on those things. The Lone Ranger, #27 from 1978. Nightwing, number 136. I don't have that one. I think I start with 137, so that's kind of cool. The Max, number 9 in the newsstand from 1993, maybe? I don't know. 1994. Comics Giveaway Day, Sonic the Hedgehog, number 1. Is this from this year? I don't know. I can't tell. Yes, 2026. Mega Man Showdown Special, number 1. Masters of the Universe, free. Toy box. Billy the Kid, number 101. I think I just pressed number 100. Was it this or something else? I don't remember. I pressed a number 100 issue. I don't remember what it was. 1973. Again, water stain. Doorway to Nightmare, number 5. Those are always nice to find. Madame Xanadu. Action Comics 444. Nick Cardy artwork on that. This is from 1975. I probably have it. Action 436. I know I have that. DC Seminole Superman Lois and Clark, number 8. Water damaged. No stains, just water damage. A little bit of humidity, and it should be fine. Aquamanatee. Got that. Alien 1. Predator and Planet of the Apes. Very cool. Get some more of these newer ones out. Conan, Tides of the Tyrant King. Gun Honey doubles down. I have Gun Honey number 1 somewhere. Yeah. Not sure how I'm supposed to read that. Decidium. Yeah, that's how you read it. Decidium. Nice House on the Lake. Free comic book day. DC Horror Presents number 1. Masters of the Universe, Free Comic Book Day. Amazing Spider-Man, Free Comic Book Day, Queen in Black. Flux House Double Down feature, or double feature. Fort Psycho. And Mind Management. Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight, Free Comic Book Day. Supergirl's Superheroes. Number 1 preview. That's where they preview Lobo, Batwoman, and Deathstroke. Fantastic Four 258. I guess this is a reprint. I don't know. Must be a reprint. Yeah. That's what it is. Facsimile edition. Mask Armored Strike Command. Kind of cool. What do we got there? We got some, well, thank you, Felix. I appreciate that. Just made a book. Cool. Billy the Kid. Yes, Michael Mayron. I like Billy the Kid. 902. Very nice. Still a long way away from 1,000, but I'll get there eventually. I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole. I got emails saying, "Wait, we'll get you to thousands of subscribers and this many uh, views," and I go, "No," because they're going to ask for money, and that's a violation of YouTube's terms of service, and I would rather make it on my own. Yep, that's the job for Perry White. Absolutely. See what else we got here. Green Lantern number 132. September 1980. Super Friends 47. Always happy to get a Super Friends comic. Super Friends comic was good. I mean, it had one thing wrong with it. One thing that I didn't like about it. And that's the fact that Vince Colletta did a lot of the inks. Action number 522. Rich Buckler cover on the art. Green Lantern 133. Oh, you'll get there eventually, Sales Boy. Just keep plugging away at it. Liberal Hill Comics? No, absolutely not. Not Liberal Hill. What is? We'll figure out a good name for you. But I like Sales Boy Comics. That's a good name. Number 134. See, I keep my political views to myself because it's safe. And I just don't think Joe Staton did the art in this one. Awesome. I think it's better to keep religious and political ideology out of a comic book channel. That's just my personal view. Green Lantern number 139. One 36. 135. Think. We need to clean that up. Brave and the Bold, number 131. Batman and Wonder Woman versus the Catwoman. Not Catwoman, the Catwoman. Batman Family Giant number 12. I'll check it out. Of course, I usually do when I see them come across my feed. I haven't been a soldier for a very long time. 1988, 1987, something like that. It's been a long time. 1987 is when I left the military. The Flash, number 291. Always happy to get a Flash comic because most of mine are gone. Iron Man, number 148. Superman, 352. Ross Andrew cover. DC Comics presents Superman and Black Canary. That's what I got. I got a DC Comics presents. I don't remember what I did with it. I just remembered. There it is. That's the one I got in the mail. One of the few that I was missing. Superman number 365. Another Ross Andrew cover. Superman 361. DC Comics presents Superman and Aquaman. It's what I do. I've been doing comics for my whole life, so yeah, why not keep going until I die? Which hopefully won't be for a long time. There's still comic books I want. Superman 374, 376, and the special preview of the daring new adventures of Supergirl is supposed to be in here, unless somebody pulled it out. Okay, it's in the back. This is my all-time favorite Supergirl costume. I don't know why. It just is. Superman 353. Action Comics 536. Special Omega Man Unleashed. It's an Aquaman story. Oh, this is where I think this might be one of the early appearances of Omega Man. Number 19 are from 1982, yeah. Superman 375. Superman 357. I probably have all these Superman, but I don't know. My lowest lanes. Haven't you worked on those yet? They're not mine. No, they belong to you now. You're stuck with them. DC Comics presents Superman and Man-Bat. Superman presents Krypton Chronicles #1. I have that. I think this one might be in better condition. Kurt Schaffenberger on New Adventures of Superboy 27. It's rare to see him signing his work. New Adventures of Superboy #33. Dial 8 for Hero. Interesting little fact. A very hot comic right now is Ben 10, which is kind of neat. But the character Ben 10 is loosely based on Dial H for Hero. The only thing is they wanted to limit it to 10 superheroes instead of infinite number. Justice League of America #183, co-starring the legendary Justice Society. New Teen Titans 22, Brother Blood, George Perez cover. Super Friends #9, nice. Very happy to see that. #37, great. #40, yeah, that added to my Super Friends collection a little bit. So the lower grade copies I sent you, lower grade meaning they're not as good as the ones I kept, are better than the ones you already have. I hear that a lot. Yeah, food is good. We need food. Action Comics #520. DC Comics presents #36. Superman 362. Action Comics 512. Superman #351. Action Comics #523. Superman 363. Action Comics 527. Superman 386. 315. Oh, that's a shame. I've seen that a few times where they've cut out the barcode. I think you send in the barcode and maybe you would get Superman a chance to be in the movie. See if we can find that. Superman movie contest. I don't know if I can find it or not. It says details inside, but I don't see where. Um, yeah, it doesn't. I don't see where it says it. Maybe it's missing that page. Yep, it's missing the centerfold, and that's probably where the contest was. This one is missing it too. There's two of them missing them. Yeah, it doesn't say. Oh, you gotta. The second great Superman movie contest, question 21. Yeah, these aren't going to go in my collection, that's for sure. Captain America 259, Captain America 261. Like I said, it happens. Spider-Man number or Spider-Woman number 40. I don't think I have that one. Red Badge of Courage. Wow, they're just clipping all of the barcodes out of it. Number 10. This is Marvel Classics comics. I sold all my Marvel Classics comics. I wish I hadn't. Uh, I don't regret it. I just wish I hadn't. Kid Colt Outlaw number 211. That's a pretty nice copy. Again, with the clipping of the barcode. What the heck is going on here? Marvel Classic Comics number 6, Gulliver's Travel. Buck Rogers in the 25th Century, number 6. I don't know if I have that one. Mickey Mouse, number 152. Whitman. The Inspector, number 16 from 1977. Wow, this one was well loved. Super Goof, number 37. Most of these are Bronze Age. Donald Duck 174. I'll straighten that out later when I go to press it. Daffy Duck number 102. Whitman, and this is a Whitman too. Some of the later issues on these comics, when they were Whitman, it was the only way to get the comics was in the 3-packs. So that's a key for people to know. Huey and Dewey and Louie the Junior Woodchucks, number 44. Don't think I have that one. Uncle Scrooge, number 132. Another one with the barcode cut out. Uncle Scrooge 141 from 1977. I might take the covers off of those and leaf cast that little section. Oh, this hurts. Yogi Bear 32 with the barcode cut out. Why would they do that? This is from 1976. That hurts because I really can't work on Charlton comics from the 70s. Take care, uh, sales boy. We'll see you next time. Dennis and the Bible Kids, David, Hank Ketchum cover. Dennis and the Bible Kids, Jesus, with a lot of tape on it. A serious amount of tape on it. Holy crapola. Tape on every single page. That's going to be a rough one. Tom Landry and the Dallas Cowboys. Spire Christian Comics, Al Hartley cover. Yeah, we like that. God Is, another Al Hartley comic. I have about 3 or 4 copies of this. Beep Beep the Roadrunner, number 58. Batman Family, number 12, coverless. That would give it a 0.1. New Adventures of Superboy, number 8. New Adventures of Superboy, number 10. New Adventures of Superboy, number 11. And Legion of Superheroes, number 280. George Perez cover. Ah, there's one more thing in there. Justice League, Watchtower Security Access. Zatanna. I guess Zatanna's not getting into the Watchtower anytime soon because I have her security code. Toss that back in there. So what do you think? Should I go ahead and buy him? He's waiting for me to give him an offer. Yeah, I don't know. I never remembered it. Maybe if they brought him into school, they could get something. I don't know. Yeah. I bought a lot of stuff off Spinner Racks. I think I have them all too. I'm not sure. Yeah, of course. Well, I knew I was going to buy them as soon as I saw the Al Hartley covers, but no, I knew I was going to buy them before that because he told me they're all Bronze Age. They're almost all Bronze Age DC. So I was pretty sure I was going to make it an offer. I just decided not to make him an offer until after I showed you guys. And I told him that. I told him I was going to show you guys or show him on here before I made him an offer. And he said, well, that's cool. He does watch the channel occasionally. Never comments, but that's okay. Yeah, that's probably right. That sounds about right. Just like you can, for a while, if you collected the cereal box UPCs and turned these in, You get school. These schools could get supplies for the school. Probably. I'll have to look that up at some point. This I got to show you this. This is great. I bought it a while back. I forgot that I had it, and I ran across it when I was cleaning things up. This is the original Superman reading a Superman comic. Yeah, that's cool. The Superman before George Reeves, Kirk Allen. That's correct. So now I have a new Superman comic I want to get. I want to get this Superman comic so I can display the comic with the picture. Yeah. And I think that would be cool. I never spell it right either, but I think it is Alyn. Uh, you know, if I can't find a copy of the comic, I might just find a copy of the cover online and print it out and then put it in a frame. Awesome. But like I said, if nothing else, I'll find a copy of the comic book, uh, and I'll probably do that even if I don't. I'll probably, even if I buy the comic, I will probably end up scanning the cover, printing it out, and putting that with the picture, rather than risk getting damage to the comic. Um, I don't know why I have these on display. I normally don't display comics at all because they can receive damage. Even though I have all the windows blacked out in this room, uh, and but I do use lights, even though they're all LED lights. Still, they still have a little bit of ultraviolet to them. We'll see. And then, like I said, I don't think you were here for that part. But I've decided, since I have two of these, one of them is going to go into the box for the 1,000 subscriber giveaway, provided I get there someday. Maybe next year. By then, the box will be full. And some of those posters that I showed earlier. Yeah. Um, the greatest hero of the golden age. Yeah, everybody has a different opinion on that. So I'll keep my opinion to myself, but everybody knows it's Superman. I'm a little bit of a Superman fan. I have been my whole life. So yeah. Now for Platinum Age, that's a little tougher. I might have to go with the Phantom on that one. I don't know. Daredevil was kind of cool back in the Golden Age too. That red. I, I have some of the later issues of Daredevil, but never with him in it. Yeah, Airboy was good. Black Angel. Yep. But like I said, for Platinum Age, I'd go with the Phantom, and then Zorro. Green Lantern would be my number two, and Batman would be number three. I always liked Green Lantern. And if we're just going to go on cover art, if we're just going to go on cover art alone, I don't care what anybody says. I don't care who has an opinion about this artist or that artist. You just can't beat the Classics Illustrated covers from the 40s, the original ones. The art was just amazing. Well, that and four color. No, she tied for three. Superman, Alan Scott, Batman, and Wonder Woman tied for third. No number four. Yeah, and amazing artist. Henry Kiefer, it just blows my mind every time I see one of his drawings. And then as they were switching over and doing new covers, L.B. Cole took over as the art director. Of the artists that everybody thinks are great for the golden age, the consensus of this guy's great, this guy there, this great. L.B. Cole was probably the best of all of them. On hero stuff. Oh, of course. Airfighters, all of the Airfighters had Airboy on the cover. I have a couple of Airboy comics running around somewhere. The originals, not of course, I have all of the Airboy covers that were done, I think, by Eclipse. And I showed them as I was pressing them. They're in one of those boxes up there, in that box there. The box behind Superman, right there. That's where all my Airboy comics from the clips are. And I have the whole run. Okay, I'll look at it. And of course, you saw this already. I sent you the preview of this. It just turned out really nice. Still needs a clean, but it no longer has that minor spine issue. I'm surprised this computer has held up this long. I don't. The fan on the power supply is intermittent, and the cooling fan for the CPU, the brackets are broken, and I kind of glued them together, and I'm hoping it holds. The parts were supposed to be here today; they didn't show up, so maybe I'm just hoping it lasts. it's not hard to do. It's really not. The humidity chamber is the key. Humidity chamber, and then pressing it flat, and then after you press it flat, you put a new. You fix the spine in it, do a heat press, and it's done. We're getting all that rain. A lot of flooding in in the southwestern part of Texas, and I've been getting some rain, enough to keep it cool. I don't think it's been out of the 80s here in 3 days, and for Texas in July, that's, you know, pretty close to freezing weather. No, I don't use hot water in the humidity chamber. It's not necessary because it's a closed system, and since it's closed, the humidity will the water will saturate everything. It doesn't get wet, but it gets everything damp. Uh, we had a nice rain today where I live. It was kind of steady most of the day, with some breaks. There was actually a break in the rain when I went out to check my mail. Of course, all I got was bills, and well, they're not really bills. I call them bills, but they're not. They're credit card advertisements, you know, because I'm not in debt enough, so they wanted me to get more credit cards at 29 to 30% interest. I'm sorry, why would I want to pay 30% interest? I go to my bank, I get 4%. What happens when you get a half decent credit rating? But yeah, I get those every day. I get advertisements for credit cards, or for loan offers. You're $40,000 in debt. Not anymore. I was. I'm not anymore. I total, with the car paint, with what I owe on my car, I think I owe about $3,000 right now, and have a $30,000 limit on my credit cards. I'm not in trouble. Oh, if it's Rocketeer versus Spirit #2, it definitely has my name on it somewhere. I'm pretty sure I lost that one, even though I've never owned one. Cave Woman is cool. I've got some Cave Woman comics somewhere. Um, that's one of those ones I accumulate. I don't really collect them. Nice. I appreciate it. And of course, you'll sign them on the inside because you know that's what I like. I got a sketch cover. Check this out. And what's really cool about it is it's here's the regular cover for it. I don't normally get the sketch covers, but I like that one a lot. Yeah, I most of the Cave Woman comics I've seen are black and white. Nice. I have no idea. Now that's unusual. Yeah. Uh, but some of the Capleton comics were like some of them were had nudity and some of them didn't. And that's kind of the appeal to them. You never knew what you were going to run into. In the 90s, they published a lot of comics with nudity in it. A lot. I have a bunch of them. I've been trying to get rid of them. I sold a big stack of them. And they're actually worth some money, but I don't care. I just don't want them. That's the way to do it. If you've got a good story, you don't need nudity. If I want nudity in a comic, I'll get out my old copies of Old Wicked Wanda. Uh, it's magazine size from Penthouse. I have the collected edition of it somewhere. I don't know where. I've got boxes and boxes of Playboy in Penthouse. I can't get rid of them. Every time I try to get rid of them, somebody brings me some. Here, you can have these. I guess I'll just have to put them out at a yard sale or something. Do a yard sale with those on a table behind me, so that people have to ask for it. I can make sure they're adults. Okay, I'll take a look at it later. I ran across another comic. I thought maybe I'll press this one, but then I changed my mind. Decided not to press it. It's a Blue Beetle #3 from Modern Comics. I don't know why I decided not to press it. Graphic Man Comics. Glad to see you. Glad you could stop in. Always happy when people stop by. Already showed most of what pretty much everything I was going to show. I've already shown. Of course, I've been going for what, hour and a half. I'm surprised the computers lasted this long. Oh no! It doesn't need a back cover. The back cover is attached. It just that the front cover is a little loose. I think it's a little loose from the staple. I'm trying to make up my mind because they have no value at all. I'm trying to make up my mind. Do I want to put it together? Do I want to? Do I want to put some methyl? I want to waste methyl cellulose and Tingujo paper on that or not? I haven't decided. I might. It's a nice copy aside from that. Aside from the fact that it has a total spine split, it's a nice copy. And I've decided that while I'm working on the Superman 14 and the 4-color 49 and future comics that I work on, I'll insert an occasional glance at some other things I'm working on too. Because I don't just do 1 or 2 comics at a time. I'll work on sometimes 3 or 4. And I'll just show you something else that I happen to be working I'll check him out. Might not be able to check him out until tomorrow. Like I said, I don't know how long this is going to last. Yeah, I I need to get a list of those at some point. I've got a lot of them. I don't know if I have them all, but I have a lot of the modern day, modern comics. Yeah, I got a in the Superman 14. You're going to see uh, a New Mutants 87. I show the cover and some of the interior pages of it. That the comic book store guy that I, I go to visit every Wednesday, he he handed it to me and said, "See what you can do with this." And I looked at it and I went, "Oh, okay, I'll give it a shot." When you see it, you're going to go, "Oh no, there's no way." Uh, I spent a little time on it today while waiting for some pages to dry, and I think I've got uh, four Superman pages done for Friday's video. Yeah. Well, Doomsday plus one, John Byrne. Uh, I don't know if that was his first work or not, but I know it's early in his career. Yeah, and the westerns all had great art. I mean, some of their artists were just incredible. Sanho Kim, amazing. They're finally starting to get some of the credit they deserve for the artwork that they did. Like I said, Sanho Kim's artwork is incredible. Yeah, you made it to my Coffee with Chaos live, and I yeah, it's been raining all day, and you missed everything. Already showed it all. You'll have to go back and watch it from the beginning. Nice. That was nice of him. Angry Otter, good to see you, buddy. Glad you could stop in. Yeah, you'll have to rewatch. You never know what I'm going to show. Like I said, it's interesting. It's been an interesting week. I haven't been able to post as much as what I wanted, but you know that happens. I actually had uh, I did record a video for a What the Bleep, uh, featuring uh, this this DC Comics Presents, as well as a the Classics Illustrated #3 that I'm going to send you, Loster. But it was so corrupted by the problems that I was having with my computers, I didn't even bother posting it. Yeah. That's awesome. But a 4 mile walk in the snow with your dad, that's just fun. Uh, it's been sprinkling. It's been raining off and on and sprinkling. The river's up about 2 or 3 feet. There's nothing to worry about. We don't worry about the river getting up until it's like 18 feet, 18 to 20 feet. Then we start getting a little worried. Uh, it doesn't usually get to my house until it hits 30 feet, though, so I'm not worried at all. Yeah. And those are books you will never get rid of. You will always have them. There you go. But like I said, it hasn't been too bad here. And the rain was one of those gentle rains that you actually enjoy. That's what I had here today. Now, Monday, for about 45 minutes, the skies opened up. And I haven't seen rain that hard in ages. In about 45 minutes, I think we got about an inch and a half of rain. And then it just stopped. And then we had a little bit of rain yesterday, but not much. And then today, off and on all day. But those were supposed to be. Now, I do have another one. I have another one for what the late media mail. I will be checking that to see if he charged me for ground advantage, because I've caught them doing that a couple of times where they charged me for ground advantage and then sent it media mail. And yeah, I let them know about it. Hey, you charged me for this and you sent it this way. You owe me money. And they never want to send me money, so I take it to YouTube and they take care of me. Yeah, I know. It's I've been kind of keeping an eye on the news, and it's pretty bad over there. Uh, and I can't say I thought about you. You know, when I saw it was raining that hard, I thought about you. I hoped it wasn't affecting you too much. But hey, that's the part of the country you live in. Nothing, not much you can do about it. It's like where I am. The river goes like this and around like that, and I'm right in the center of it, where it loops around. Yeah, some of them are great. I kind of want to go fishing. Lake Belton is up about a foot, maybe a foot and a half, but it was already way up anyway. But it's up a little bit more. And I kind of want to go fishing there. Yeah, there are some good sellers out there. You just got to find them. Actually, I found something the other day. Looking through my stuff, I think I put it under my Hawkman. These are modern age comics that I had in my collection. And I just found them again. I figured I'd put them in line to be pressed, even though they don't really need it. Another Nightwing one. I showed one earlier today that I pressed. There's a number 2. Number 3. Number 4. And it's just something I ran across that I forgot that I had. Maybe you watched my video saying that's how to do it, but the difference is I use the bubble wrap and I use plastic wrap. But yeah, I forgot I had these. I'm glad I still have them. Good books to have. That, you know, he might have been in Canada, but he might have been able to come across to use the U.S. Postal Service. He's a very popular character right now, and the story arc in the current issues of Nightwing has been amazingly well. Really, it's really nice. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That maybe they just come across so they can use the U.S. Postal Service. I know one guy used to have a PO box in the U.S. so he could receive stuff that way. But then he had to pay the taxes on it when he came across the border. Yeah, he is. That was one of the best things that they ever did was making him his own character as Nightwing. Robin, the early Robin, Dick Grayson. I mean, he was okay, but when I first started reading Batman in the '60s, they were really corny and Robin was underused. And then the Teen Titans came out, and Robin was a strong character in the Teen Titans. Earth 2, Dick Grayson wore the same costume as Batman, but I think he had a 2 on there. Or maybe he had an R, I don't remember. Oh, of course. That girl will always be popular. Yeah. Uh, I have a friend that visits the same comic store as I do. And I bet you she would go nuts over a Red Hood and Nightwing uh, sketch. We might have to arrange that someday. Like I said, we might have to arrange that someday. Right now, I think Damian Wayne is going to be, well, number one, they've got too many Robins, and they've got too many Superboys right now. And they need to fix that because it's confusing me. Four or five, yeah. I like that. Jokers. Robins, you can't keep them killed. Let's see. Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, uh, Tim Drake. Of course, Jason Todd is now Red Hood. Let's see. Yes. There was the girl. I forget her name because I haven't read The Dark Knight Returns since the 80s. And now Damian Wayne. There's just way too many Robins out there. They should declare open season on Robin. But like I said, there's too many Superboys too. Yeah. The original Huntress, she was awesome. They just, you know, at least, well, DC doesn't get rid of characters. They put them on the back burner for a while, stuff them on the shelf, and then bring them back later. Even the ones they kill, they don't kill them forever. They put them away for a while, then they'll bring them back. I think the original Dove they actually killed off, of Hawk and Dove, and I don't think they ever brought him back. I'm enjoying them too, and I think they're turning out okay. Uh, Not happy with the stain on that Snow White, but it's okay. It's still overall, I think they're doing all right. And the Superman pages are just turning out amazing. Of course, they were good to begin with. I didn't really need to clean them, but I figured as long as I had it apart, why not? I guess technically it would be Superboy Prime, which is now prime time, or or not prime. He's Superboy. He's I forget what his name is now. But he changed his name uh, Tomorrow Man. He's Tomorrow Man, not Superman or Superboy Prime. He's calling himself Tomorrow Man. But yeah, he's also Superman or Superboy Prime because it's the same person. But Tomorrow Man managed to bring him back into the present, which is why he renamed himself Tomorrow Man. It's an interesting storyline, but it's confusing as hell. You're supposed to wrap it up before too long. Yeah, there are. Uh, the original Superboy, which I guess would be called Superboy Prime, uh, he remained from the 40s all the way up until Crisis on Infinite Earths, and then after Crisis, he went off with the original, with the Superman from Earth 2, and they were in a pocket dimension with Lois Lane from Earth 2. And that Superboy became Superboy Prime. So he would be the OG Superboy. And then there was the Superboy from the TV show. And then after that, they had Superboy from the one that I think Lex Luthor had something to do with his creation. Uh, so they had that Superboy. And I'm thinking he got killed. I don't remember. And then they had another Superboy, another Superboy, another Superboy. Way too many. Well, they've had like 14 crises since the original, since Crisis on Infinite Earths. Absolutely. Every time they Connor is the third Superboy. He's the one from the 90s, I think. Or is he Superman's son? Because there's two more Superboys that are the son of Superman Lois Lane. I like the 30s to the 80s too, but I also like reading the new stuff. Uh, and the Absolute Batman, Absolute Superman, Absolute Wonder Woman, those are amazing. Uh, Absolute Flash, I haven't made up. I'm not that crazy about it, but I'm getting them anyway. Absolute Green Arrow is interesting. Uh, yeah, that's an interesting story arc. But they're a different take on it. It's like a separate universe. The Absolute Universe is separate from the regular universe, or it's supposed to be. I'm sure they'll cross over in a crisis at some point. They'll have an absolute crisis. But I blame it all on the 1960s first Crisis comic, where the Justice League and the JSA teamed up together. That's the very first Crisis comic. And I blame it all on that. But I love it, so it's okay. It's it's changed, but it kind of still goes back to the one from they just keep getting reincarnated uh, from ancient Egypt or wherever it was. It kind of keeps going back to that. And that's partially because that's where the movie was. Just do your own take on Hawkman and don't worry about it. So we'll give you a new number one, and then we all know. I mean, the Thanagar and all of that stuff that comes from the '60s. I like the way you draw Hawkman too. I think you should get a comic book, even if it's not the one that you want. Just tell them you want to retcon back to the Murphy Anderson Hawkman. You'll be fine. Yeah, I remember the metal wings. Those were in the '90s, weren't they? And he had metal wings. I think Hawk World. Yeah. Well, Murphy Anderson did him first. Joe Kubert did him a little bit later. And of course, then they had the Atom and Hawkman together. Yeah, that's when they were doing they were heavy into the Thanagar thing and the metal wings and all that. That's yeah. That's when they had Hawk World, which is good. It's a good miniseries, but they should have left it as an Elseworld thing. And you could always pitch a Hawkman to them as an Elseworlds, not part of the main continuity. That's cool. Yeah, I forgot about the Spirit. Gonna have to put Spirit in that top 10 list somewhere. I think the only reason my computer is still running is I have both sides off to get airflow, and I have the air conditioner running, even though I don't need it. And it's holding up pretty good. I'm surprised. Yeah, okay, I'm officially jealous. Actually, I'm not really jealous because I have that original Sabrina page that was done by Dan DeCarlo, so I'm not that jealous. It's unfortunate that people get to where they have to sell something to pay medical bills. But got to pay them somehow. I think I'm going to close this down. I've been on for 2 hours, and I'm really worried about the computer because if that processor overheats too much, it can destroy the processor. So it's not giving me too much trouble, but I still worry about it. Yeah. Couldn't get your wallet out fast enough, could you? Or your checkbook, or however you paid for it. Yep, I think I'm going to shut this down. I'll talk to you later, Austin. It's always great chatting with you. But I'm a little worried about my computer. So I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. Take care, everybody. Hopefully, I'll be able to do some recording on this tomorrow and get that Superman 14 update out to you for Friday morning. In the meantime, have yourself a great weekend, and we'll see you next week. Same time, same place. 8 o'clock Central. Take care, everybody. Bye.